Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm looking at the Hot Wheels Star Wars Battle Rollers Boba Fett with Slave One, released in 2017. This vessel was first seen in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now the Slave One actually has a real name. It's the Modified Fire Spray 31 Attacker Patrol Vessel, or we could go with the Fire Spray 31 Interceptor. Either one sort of works. I just call it the Slave One. It's one of my favorite ships of all time. From growing up playing with micro machines, before I understood how the ship actually worked, I would play with it like a helicopter, like that. But once I started watching The Empire Strikes Back and building all those memories, I love this ship, especially when I got older, playing Shadows of the Empire, watching Episode 2, seeing this bad boy in action for the first time on the big screen. I love the Slave One. The Slave One measures in at about 1¼ inches long, or 3 centimeters for all you metric users out there. So it's a very small vessel, but it does have a lot going for it. Being a battle roller, it does have a lot of cartoonish characteristics that some people love and some people hate. But does it work for this particular piece or vessel? Well, we're going to find out. So if you're new to my channel, what I'd like to do is get a nice close-up of the mold and the paint, show everybody at home what you're actually paying for. We'll see if it rolls, we'll compare it to some other Star Wars related pieces in my collection, and finally we'll be done. So you know what? Let's get started. Alright, let's take a look at the mold and the paint. Now normally, what I'd like to do is go over all the major parts, get a nice close-up look at the ship, and then go over the paint, but since it's so small, we're going to take a look at everything in one segment. So let's get started. First of all, we have the Slave One, which looks pretty unique. Normally it flies like this. It's in a landing configuration. And they got Boba Fett out there aiming his twin laser cannons right here. Or blaster cannons, if you will. So very interesting. So let's go over the main parts. We have Boba Fett at the top. Looking pretty good. We'll have a close-up look at him in just a few. But from looking at it here, very nicely detailed, I'll give it that. Right in the front, we have our twin blaster cannons. Nicely detailed. Actually, they look really well. Now, the paint gives it this rounded look, but there is a lot of detail there. We can see some little pipes here, panel lines coming down. Great stuff. Again, you can see some mold in here. Pretty nice. Now, in here should be the entry ramp to the ship. It's just a little recessed in. Looking good, though. Very nice. We have our ramp right here. Nicely molded with some panel lines. Really cool. That's the same for this side. Awesome. For our little shoulder section here, connecting to the stabilizer fins. Look at all the detail there. We have a little recessed area right here. And then the fins protrude out. Nicely detailed. Fantastic. See, this is actually a cool battle roller because it's detailed pretty damn well. You can see little panel lines going around the shoulder section. Look at that. Beautifully done. Good stuff. Now the main cockpit window is it's not really recessed in, but it's molded really well. You can see a little lip on each side, and then it's painted that black. So very cool. I like that quite a bit. I guess it is a little recessed, but I don't know. I just like how it's molded. Really cool. And then right here on the skirt section, we have some nice details with those little triangles here. Nice. Now on the bottom, we have some molding on the fins, which looks great. We have 2 little screws holding it together. Made in China. Mattel, copyright crap all around. We have some stabilizer pegs. And then some more detailing. Looking pretty cool, I might add. Some nice stuff here. Pretty sick. And then we have our little trackball. You can see me. Hello. Does it roll though? We'll find out in a moment. But all in all, some great stuff. Again, we have our stabilizer fins, cockpit. Right here, we have our twin blaster cannons. our entry ramp. Engines should be back here. All in all, nicely done. So let's have a look at Boba Fett. Alright, getting as close as I can, we can see that the paint is a little iffy right in the front of the mask here with the maroon. But from a distance, you're never going to see that. But all I have to say is they did a pretty damn good job with something this small. You can see the silver paint, the maroon, the glossy black, the green, blue and yellow all working together. We can see his gauntlets here, his armor, little joysticks in his hands. Not really any buttons here for the control panel, but Boba Fett here certainly does shine. We can see his little cape here. The jetpack is molded, looking good. And then the rest of his armor. Now the paint's a little iffy here or there, but again, from a distance, you're never really going to see it much. But wow, a lot of paint on Boba Fett. And when we look at the ship itself, we have a couple different colors. We do have this like grayish green on the front here and on the sides, which is a cool color choice. Again, it's right here. Looking good. We got glossy black for that cockpit window. Looking dope. We got the maroon at the bottom, which is cool. Always love the maroon on the Slave ones. It's always a good choice. And then the main color is a nice, I would say, off gray. Not necessarily off white. Looks a little like a greenish hue to it, but a nice color choice nonetheless. And you can see it go all throughout the body here. Even on the stabilizer fins there. And on the bottom, they tried to match it. We have the die-cast piece right here, and then the plastic right there. And you can see how they did try to match them quite well. Pretty cool. All in all, a beautifully painted piece. So all in all, a very cool looking ship. Is it one of my favorites? I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not going to knock it. Is it weird to see Slave 1 looking like this? Absolutely, but it's growing on me. I like the detailing on it, and Boba Fett looks sick. So now, let's see. Can it roll? Now, does it roll? Let's test it out. Yes. Woo! And now for a quick size comparison with the Hot Wheels Star Wars Battle Rollers Boba Fett with Slave 1 seen in the center. I have it next to some other Battle Rollers vessels. First, on the right hand side, we have Darth Vader in his TIE Advanced. And finally, on the left hand side, we have Emperor Palpatine in his Imperial Shuttle. And now for an added bonus size comparison with the Hot Wheels Star Wars Battle Rollers Boba Fett with Slave 1 seen in the center, I have some other Fire Spray and Slave 1s to compare it with. Now first, on the right hand side, we have the Hot Wheels Starships version, which is a 3-inch vessel. I have it in its landing configuration, and you can see 3 inches compared to 1.25 inches. It's a big difference, but I put it like that so you can compare the two more evenly. Moving on to the left, we have the Dakura Tommy version of Slave 1. I really like how the wings can move, and I like the paint on this one. It may not be super flashy, but it gets the job done, and I really do like it quite a bit. This was actually a gift from a viewer called Overlord, so thanks Overlord again, showing all your stuff in my videos lately. And finally, on the far left hand side, we have the Star Wars Titanium series Fire Spray Interceptor. Now for years I thought this was actually from the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game when Jango Fett first finds one of these ships. But actually, after doing a lot of research, this is actually from the Star Wars Galaxies game, believe it or not. So, a long time ago, right? I never played that game, but I did hear some good things. Did any of you play it at home? Let me know in the comments below. So regardless, these are some great looking vessels from a couple different companies. If you would like to see reviews of any of the ships I showed today, check the links in the description below. And that's everything I have to say today about the Hot Wheels Star Wars Battle Rollers Boba Fett with Slave 1, released in 2017. For being 1.25 inches in length or 3 centimeters, it does have a lot going for it. Now, I wouldn't say it's as detailed as a larger a 3-inch Star Wars Hot Wheels vessel, or even a titanium or a Micro Machines for that matter. But it is a very stylized version of the Slave 1, and I like it. I do like this one. I think it's awesome. I love the detailing on Boba Fett. I love his cape, the jetpack, his helmet. Everything looks great. Now, the ship itself, yes, it's very cartoonish. It's very characterized, and I think it works. Believe it or not, the first time I took this out of the package, I was not happy with it, but it grew on me as time went on. I love the little detailing, the panel lines, the little raised sections here and there, especially where the stabilizer fins are, the blaster cannons, and also the entry ramp. As you can see right now, you have little details there, and it looks great. Everything adds up, and that's what I'm trying to say with these battle rollers. Yeah, we have some that may be considered flops, but there's also some that look pretty cool. Now, paint-wise, yes, when we got close, it's a little sloppy, but remember, it's 1.25 inches in length. It's not big at all. So the major paint apps are very clean. However, just like when we looked at Princess Leia, once you get close, the paint is a little sloppy here and there. Having said that, I love the paint application on here, though. The silver, the maroon, everything seems to work, and I think it's done very well. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I do think it's done well. And finally, yes, it does roll. So that's everything I have to say about the Bounty Hunter's vessel today. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and if you'd like to see new videos every week, subscribe. Again, for all of you out there who are taking time out of your day to watch my content, I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.